Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we'll dissect the repo rate and reverse repo rate and we'll know how RBI uses them to control inflation. The repo rate is the interest rate at which the central bank lends money to commercial banks in the event of shortage of funds. It is a short-term borrowing rate. I know ये बहुत technical definition है, डरो मत. We'll understand it in simple words. So let's start from the beginning. पहला सवाल होगा, how do RBI get money? So they get money from depositors like you and me. Let's say SBI had deposits from all its depositors worth ₹100. RBI mandates all the banks to deposit 4% of their deposits with RBI as CRR, that is cash reserve ratio, and 19.5% of deposits as SLR, that is statutory liquidity ratio, to use in a crisis situation. So what exactly CRR and SLR is, we'll understand in the upcoming videos. After depositing 19.5% and 4%, banks are left with 76.5% of their deposits to use. And banks lend this 76.5% of their deposits forward in the form of loans. Now, this 76.5% is quite less. And banks wants to make more money. After all, सबको ज़्यादा पैसे बनाना है. So they borrow money from central bank and lend it to us. Now this is where repo rates come into action. When they borrow money from RBI, they have to pay a predetermined interest rate on it. This is the repo rate. On the other hand, banks can also lend money to the RBI. Yes, even RBI borrows money from the banks. And when banks deposit their money with the RBI pays them back an interest rate which is the reverse repo rate. Yeah, it's exactly like that savings rate which we get when we deposit our money with the bank. And when bank deposit their money with the RBI, they also get back a savings rate which is called a reverse repo rate. This borrowing and lending between banks and RBI is a collateral-backed repurchase agreement. Here, the collateral is G6, that is government securities, which banks buy using their profits. The repurchase agreement between banks and RBI is an agreement where the bank promises to repurchase the G6 after a repo period, which is generally an overnight period in India. So let's understand how this happens with an example. So let's say on day a bank gives RBI G6 worth ₹10 crores, and when this bond reaches RBI, the RBI provides the bank with a 10 crore cash. After 24 hours, the bank repays 10 crores to the RBI plus repo rate of 1 day decided by the RBI and gets back the G6. Currently, the repo rate is 6.5% per annum. This, when converted to 1 day, is 17,808 rupees for 10 crores. If the bank fails to repay this amount and defaults, then RBI can sell this G6 into the open market. And this is why it is called as a collateral-backed agreement. The same is true for reverse repo rate. यहाँ पे बस रेपो रेट के आगे रिवर्स लगाया है. अब तक आपको समझ में आया होगा कि रिवर्स रेपो रेट मतलब रेपो रेट का उल्टा. Here, banks, instead of borrowing from RBI, deposit their money with the RBI, and the RBI pays them back a predetermined interest rate which is called as reverse repo rate. Now you would be thinking, repo rate से bank can borrow money from RBI which they use to lend forward and earn more money. But इसमें RBI का क्या फायदा होगा? In a practical scenario and in finance world, someone will do something only when they benefit from it, right? So RBI का भी यहाँ पे काफी benefit है. The primary goal of the RBI is to keep the prices of all goods and services at stable. So how does RBI control inflation through this? Let's understand it now. When the inflation is high, the RBI increases the repo rate and reverse repo rate. This will make it harder for banks to borrow money from RBI, and they have to pay higher interest rates, and banks pass on this higher rate to consumers like you and me. So now people will borrow less because of higher rates and demand from the economy goes down. Also, since reverse repo rate is higher, banks will choose to keep their money with the RBI and earn a higher rate of interest, that is reverse repo rate, which RBI has increased to keep prices of goods stable. And banks will choose to keep their money with RBI because RBI is a more of a safe institution. And everyone generally believes that RBI, that is a central bank, will return their money, and it's more safer to keep the money with a central bank instead of keeping it with a normal consumers like you and me who can default. So keeping money with central bank is less riskier, and thus cash circulation in the economy will be lower. And all of this helps to lower inflation, as due to the reduced money supply, the demand will be less and hence prices of products will go down, reducing the inflation. On the other hand, if inflation is low, then RBI will want to grow the economy. So they will lower the repo rate and reverse repo rate. This will lead to more supply of money, interest rates will reduce, people like you and me and also companies will choose to borrow more money from banks, and this will increase the demand for goods and services and the economy will grow. As demand increases, the prices will start to increase. Now this is where the RBI has to walk the tightrope in order to keep the prices of goods in check and stable. Before the introduction of repo rate, the central banks used key rates such as bank rates and open market operations to control the economy, but it had a lot of drawbacks. They were less transparent and not as precise or responsive as repo rate in influencing liquidity. Adjustments to these tools used to take a lot of time to impact the broader financial systems. So we will discuss in the upcoming videos. We shall discuss in the upcoming videos why and how exactly central banks choose to move from bank rates to repo rates. Thank you for watching the video. Please do like, share and subscribe my channel. See you in the next video with a new topic. Bye bye.